Welcome, welcome, beautiful soul. Welcome to Eringy. I'm Erin. Welcome to your full moon energy reading for the end of August 2023. So, as per usual, you're probably getting sick of me saying all of this. As per usual, make this time sacred. Create a sacred space. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate, but just something where you feel like you can fully soak down into the depths of the feminine energy of the full moon. Explore what spirit has to commune with you. And so with that, maybe just grab a pen and paper, or even your own oracle cards as well, and sort of just draw a few as we continue to go through today's reading, okay? So go grab that, maybe even like a herbal tea as well. That would be nice. Light a candle, some incense, put some essential oils on, anything goes with the full moon. So anyway, go do that, and then we'll get started. Alrighty, so let's take a look and see what you have been creating. Where's this momentum going, and what does this full moon's energy have to offer? I can see right away that you are really working toward abundance. And you've really been tapping into, since the new moon, you've really been tapping into your creativity. You've been tapping into your intuition. You're a lot more aligned with your intuition as well. And this is wonderful to sort of see that. This is all a part of your evolution. So yay! Congratulations. This is fantastic. Yeah, it just sort of feels a little more complete since the new moon. It feels like you can kind of just take a few more breaths here and just look out over your life and just be a little more reflective and appreciative of that journey that you've had so far. And that's what the full moon is about. So on one hand, it's about surrendering and letting go, but it's also about celebrating your path. So if this is you, if you are feeling like, just reflect and look over all that you have achieved so far. And it is definitely worth celebrating. So with that in mind, let's take a look at where you are currently. So I can sort of see here that there might be a bit of a hesitation to celebrate. Maybe there's a part of you that is a little disappointed that you're not as far as where you'd like to be. And, I feel like that's a very normal human thing to do as well. I guess the difference is that how long do you stay in that particular state? So if you are continuing to focus on parts of your life that really just aren't fulfilling you emotionally or spiritually or even physically, it does tend to kind of lend itself to not actually being able to be aware of the other good things. So this is why during this beautiful full moon, it's important to keep celebrating, because by you celebrating, you are appreciating the journey. You're appreciating the person you are. You're appreciating the people in your life. You're appreciating the opportunities that constantly come your way, the synchronistic messages that the universe tries to provide to you. So maybe that's where, even if it's just a shift in your mindset, if you can try to achieve that, really start to focus on all those wonderful things as opposed to just focusing so solely on what isn't going well. Okay, because that's where you'll start to feel way, way better. I feel like too, so if that's where you are now, what is coming into your awareness is that there is a shift. So there's been some really big changes for you throughout this month of August. This one is you've been feeling like it has been quite choppy. Life has been very, very choppy. And now you've just made that decision that you're just not going to put up with that anymore. And you're just very ready to kind of continue along the journey, but just in a different way. This speaks of you tuning into your intuition for this particular one. So I don't feel like you're going to get any validation from speaking to other people about your plan. And in some ways, I feel like it's important to kind of keep it close to the chest at the moment and trust in your own instincts. So if it does feel good, when you think about a new goal and you're saying to yourself, or you're feeling that, hey, this could be great, and I'm feeling happy and excited about this, then more often than not, it's real, okay? Because ego isn't going to make you feel good. Ego is going to just generally kind of step in and tell you reasons why you shouldn't do what you want to do. So if you do start feeling those positive vibes, by all means, keep following that. That's your intuition speaking to you. Also be aware that there will be other signs. So if you're unsure, ask the universe, can you please send me a sign? Something that is going to validate that this path is the right one for me. Deep down, you know, though. So I feel like I'm just validating what you already know. Deep down, you know. So it is going to get easier. It's not going to get so choppy. It's going to, you're kind of moving into calmer waters now, and that is wonderful. And it is about taking action too. So you're not going to be sitting on your butt doing nothing. The change or the shift that you are seeking will come from you doing something differently. So it might feel a little bit scary, a little unusual. I do remember in the new moon reading, there was a part of you that was taking that leap and you weren't sure how you were going to achieve every single one, and you're still at that time. So that's okay. One step at a time is all good. Okay, so if you are bringing that in, you're utilizing the feminine full moon energy, what are you ready to release and let go of? Let me just have a focus on this particular part of your reading. It's quite interesting because I feel like as souls, we're all searching for balance. Like we want to feel good in all aspects of our life, and so therefore that's where balance comes in. And I feel like that's what you're striving for. That's kind of like the ultimate goal for you. However, it's hectic. It's hard to achieve that because you put part of your energy in one thing, and then that kind of topples the scales a little bit, and then you try and fill up the other side of the scale, and then that's tipping. And so you're kind of going back and forth a little bit, and it's doing your head in. I can feel it. So can I suggest, breathe. Let's just take a moment for a moment. Take a moment for a moment. Breathe. All right. Sometimes when you are trying to control and trying to balance it, that is essentially trying to control things. Which, yeah, can work sometimes, but in this particular reading, they are really asking for you just to have patience. The balance sometimes balance isn't always how we think it's going to feel or it's going to be. Sometimes it is. Sometimes balance actually is going from one side of the scale to the other. Sometimes that's what it is. Sometimes it's not being so centered where both sides are equal. Sometimes it's always going to be like a little bit up and a little bit that way. Okay, so it's always going to be up and down. So I feel like they're sort of saying maybe your version of balance isn't exactly the way you are going to achieve balance. Maybe if you could just have more patience and just center yourself and breathe and then just enjoy the ride, maybe that's where you'll achieve balance in a more natural way. So I'm hoping that is making sense to you. It is challenging to do these sorts of readings collectively because, again, I can't be incredibly specific, but I'm hoping that you are taking this, associating it to your own life so you can go, yes, I can sort of see where this particular part of the reading is showing up. Okay, so if you are letting go of your version of what balance is and you're okay to be more patient, then essentially, how can you do that? Like, how can you let it go? It's very easy for me to say, well, let it go and just breathe, you'll be fine. But how could you do that? Instead of trying to tick all the boxes and run from one side of your life to the other, like back and forth, to center yourself, come back to the very thing that ignites within. The passion within, the very thing that just puts a really big smile on your face. That's where you'll achieve the balance, okay? And when you do that, I can sort of see here that it's very much going to be a very positive thing for you. So whatever that is, whatever your passion is, what's that thing that really just kind of makes you feel alive? What's the thing that you would do for free? If you weren't getting paid for, what would you do? What's the thing that makes you just lose time because you're having so much fun? What's the thing that makes you feel good because you are helping others? Okay, so yeah, there's many ways to define or connect to what it is that you're passionate about. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to love. What do you love to do? Okay, always comes down to love. The love is just the most powerful thing, emotion, energy that we can ever have, because that's who you are. Alrighty? Okay, so yes, that's once you get that, as in once you tap into, tune into that part of yourself, what speaks to your heart, then you'll find the balance, and it'll be way easier for you to be patient as well. Okay. Alrighty. So how can we kind of close the full moon's energy for today? Let me just focus. Sometimes I do these readings and I feel like the messages aren't really powerful. And then I'll hope, I'm like, oh, I hope that these readings or the messages that come through are serving you really well. And are they simple enough? Is it, have I made it too complicated for you? This is simple. For you to continue on your path, for you to fully embrace this version of who you are, for you to continue on through life in the way that you really want to, there's a bigger thing happening in place, a much bigger energy that is occurring all throughout our entire planet. And the very thing that we all need to do to align to that energy is trust. I know, simple. But that's basically it. It's like, that's kind of like, this energy is sort of up here, the crown chakra area. This is the energy center where you are connected to that very thing that is bigger than you, right? And it's connected to all things. It's your hub of full-blown knowledge right here. So that connection can really only come from trusting that what feels good is what's good for you. Trusting that you have the abilities to fulfill those goals that you want to fulfill. Trusting in patience, trusting in following your passion, trusting that the path that you are on is the correct one, right? So that's the biggest thing for this month of this full moon. So even though we're at the end of August, the theme of this month is about surrender, release, let go. The biggest way that you can do all of that is to trust. Okay, so sometimes you're going to have to do a bit of a juggling act. And sometimes whatever it is that you're doing mightn't look the way you want it to. But if you've got that connection to your crown chakra, so therefore you've got a connection to something bigger than you, then whatever you're dealing with, you're going to be okay with. And you are going to be okay as well. All right, so that's your full moon reading for the end of August 2023. Let me know. Let me know how this is transpiring for you. Particularly this one, the trust one. What resources and additional resources are available to you, and just the general message that they're wanting to pass on is to trust. So I'm very hopeful for that. That's got some big meaning for you, because maybe there was an aspect of you that just wasn't trusting this, wasn't trusting yourself, wasn't trusting something bigger than you. And maybe that's the very thing that you can work on during this full moon, is really establishing that deep connection with that. All right, my love, I am sending you so much love. I will catch you very, very soon. Blessed, blessed full moon. Namaste.